Hello, hello. I'm so excited to be here. Happy Freedom Friday. This is Ashley with Rise and Thrive, episode 14. Super excited to be here today. If you are tuning in live, please comment. Let me know where you are tuning in from so I can say hello. And if you are watching the replay, please comment #replay. Rise and Thrive is a series of videos where I share something of use, I think, of use that can help you rise and thrive in your life because it's helped me rise and thrive in mine. So today I'm really excited about the topic. Happy to say if you're following me on Facebook, you have seen, or you may not have, but you may have seen my before and after post that I made this morning. I also kind of made a reel last night, but it was actually before I even stepped on the scale this morning. So I could already see the changes in my body just from comparing some photos. So it was really exciting to share the reel that I made, and then this morning seeing the scale, and then the before and after photos that I take to keep track of it. And actually, I had already determined the topic that I was going to share today, but I had forgotten what it was. And I told myself, whatever the topic is, I think I'm going to share about this today. And I went back to my notes and I was like, holy cow, I was already planning on sharing about it. So I thought that was cool and just wanted to share that little tidbit with you. So today I am sharing 4 things that I did to drop the weight and the inches, more inches than weight has been kind of my thing, but 18 pounds is still a lot. 18 pounds is a lot. And while enjoying foods that I love, and I'm not here to sell you any kind of a pill or a special coffee. If you use those, if they work for you, I'm not bashing them. But for me, I prefer, it just works better for me whenever I choose to do things from a holistic perspective. I try to do that in a lot of areas of my life. It has benefited me so far in life. So this year has been kind of really doing that and seeing how things affect one or the other. And with that being said, my mentor actually shared on one of the calls that I was on this morning about a Jim Rohn quote. And the quote was, all disciplines affect one another. And I can't stress that enough. If you are in a place in your life where you are tired of the weight, but you've got other things that are going on in your life that you feel are holding you back from fixing the weight, I want to encourage you to look at it from a holistic standpoint. And I hope that the content that I share with you today will kind of help you to come, I guess you could say, kind of create little containers of different areas of your life that you can focus on a little bit each day. So I'll just get right into it. The first thing is eat the food. In May, when I started, I was not losing any weight, but I didn't feel like I was eating terribly. But what I found, because part of the process was for me to just track what I was currently doing, I was not getting enough calories, number one, and I for sure was not getting enough protein in my daily routine. I just wasn't. And protein is hard for me. I go through phases. 1 month, I will eat a steak and love it. And then another month, I'm like, don't put meat in front of me. I don't want it. I don't want to smell it. It's weird. But that's kind of how I am. So if that's you, I can relate. But it's actually pretty cool how much protein are in non-meat foods. And you can find some good stuff. But so my first tip is to eat the food. You still want to follow an 80-20 rule where you are eating 80% of the time, you're eating whole foods. You're eating, from the 3 main food groups, I guess you could say, the starches, the meats, and the vegetables. I'm not an expert on nutrition, so that's not what I'm here to share with you today. But from my experience, when I started eating the food as well as implementing these other things I'm going to share with you, It really made a huge difference, not only in being able to lose the weight, but also my energy level. A lot of us are really undernourished. And if you, I think another thing that you can do to kind of help you see where you're at in this is check the labels of the foods that you're currently eating. And one thing that I found is a lot of processed foods, you can eat very little and get a lot of calories. And so that leaves you hungry. And when with whole foods, you just got to eat a lot more to get those calories. And sometimes it's even hard to get as much food as I need to. Um, so eat the food and try to follow the 80-20 rule. Again, 80% of the time, the whole foods, and that 20% of the time, you get the fun foods. Um, and for me, I have found that I can find fun foods that are also still whole foods. Um, my favorite granola, and I eat it every day after my workout, is a protein chocolate sea salt granola. And then I have another granola that is not very high in protein, but it's another favorite. It's chocolate and coconut. And I like the fiber from, getting the fibers from the granola and the whole grains. And then I use almond milk. So that to me is like better than eating a candy bar any day. So I've found that in, discovering new foods and trying new things that I've been able to, my fun foods have kind of changed a lot. So eat the food. Number 2 is move your body. I know nobody likes to sweat. Nobody likes to be hot and ick, and you're never motivated to do it. But I can't tell you how much moving your body is not only good for weight loss, it's good for your mind, it's good for your soul. It can make a massive difference. So I get the resistance, but I really want to encourage you, start small and work your way up. When I started tracking my steps. And if you don't have I had a smartwatch. I didn't really want to wear it, didn't like wearing it, gave it to my daughter. And then I started this and needed something. So Amazon has like this little step tracker. It was like $24, I think. And it works wonderfully and it syncs with my phone and everything. So I started tracking my steps. And when I first began this, I was struggling to get 2,000 steps a day. I was, working in an office. I was very sedentary for a lot of the time. And so I get it. But I've worked my way up, every week I set a new goal that I was working towards the next number. The 3,000, the 4,000. And when I got to the 4,000, I was also facing a lot in my life and there was a lot of stress. And I'll share more about that in a moment. But, so I kind of stayed at the 4,000 mark. So you get stagnant in your process too, even with the movement, even with the food. Just pick back up where you left off. That's like a bonus tip. Pick back up where you left off. But move your body, do simple things. If you hurt, I know when I started, my joints ached so bad. And I kind of pushed past the pain, but not everybody can do that. Maybe your pain is more intense than mine was. There are chair exercises. There are movements that you can do to just get your body moving. So do little steps every day and work towards. So right now I'm actually at 7,000 steps average a day. Woohoo! And a big helper for that was me getting the walking pad and being able to walk at home. But I'm working towards 10,000 steps. I also weightlift. And when I say weightlift, I'm talking, I started with 5-pound dumbbells, worked my way to 10. I'm now at 15. I'm so excited. But work your way up. Start small. If you don't have any dumbbells, you don't have any weights, get you some soup cans or something, get you a jug of water and use that for your weights. Weightlifting, I have found that it burns a lot more calories than cardio does. So I have kind of developed a love for the strength training side of things. But move your body. And the last two are really they're more the magical steps for me. And I feel like it was the two things that I left out of my life every other time I tried to do this. I've tried exercising and eating right before, but I never stuck with it. I didn't even stick with it for 3 months. And actually, I think once I made, no, I take that back. There was a 90-day program that I was in. I did do that 90-day program, but literally after the 90 days was up, that was it. I went right back to doing what I was doing before. I did not develop the habit. And I think the biggest reasons why were because I did not have these other two little magical pieces of it. And number 3 is accountability. Excuse me, I need some water for a second. So accountability for me has looked like coaching. And I'll tell you why I did that. I struggled with consistency and dedication to myself for years. Like I said, the 90-day program I did do, as soon as it was over, I just went back to my old habits. That wasn't what I wanted to do anymore. I wanted a lifestyle change. And so the accountability has been such a massive part. I committed to 1 year with a coach. So that is 1 year of me not being able to say, I'm too tired, I'm done, I'm taking a break for a little while. Now I can actually kind of, communicate I'm taking but there's accountability to hold me to that for a certain amount of time so that I get back on track. And a couple of things that I love about the coaching that is just, it has helped me if you've ever struggled with when the scale doesn't move and you're working your butt off and you feel like there aren't any results. There's so many other things to look at. And the coach that I work with really helps me to see all of that. So there's weekly check-ins and I'm taking weekly photos, progress photos. I track everything that I eat and I report it all to my coach. And, with that, the weekly check-ins that we do they're holistic. And what I mean by that is they will ask you questions about your stress level. How much sleep are you getting? What are your wins for the week? What are, they ask you to, create affirmations for yourself. And there's so much good that goes into thinking about that every week. What did I do over this week? What was stressful for me? How high was my stress level? What was keeping me from getting as much sleep as I should have? Where was I off on my food? Like really taking that time every week to look at your progress or your lack of progress, whichever it is, it helps you to see the areas that you need to improve on, and everything works together. I mentioned during the time whenever I kind of stuck at the 4,000 steps, I was I was facing some struggles in my life. I was transitioning from part-time to a full-time job, and then also trying to run my business. And that was actually when I decided to quit my job and just do my business full-time. But all of that caused a lot of stress, and stress caused a little bit of the weight gain. The scales weren't moving. I was doing other things. I kind of slacked on my workouts a little bit during that time as well. But I got back to it, once I was able to, during that time, I slacked on the workouts. I slacked on the steps. I don't really feel like I slacked. I stayed fairly consistent, but it allowed me, instead of trying to keep climbing that ladder, it kept me stable so that I could better manage my stress. And that's what I mean by the holistic side of things. The coach sees that you're going through stress, so they're not going to push you in these areas, and they care about the fact that you're dealing with these other struggles, and they give you tips and pointers to keep on track and just keep taking one step forward, no matter how small that step is, one step forward. So the accountability has been such a massive help for me. If you would like to know more about the coach that I'm working with, please just message me directly and I will get that information to you. And the last thing, number 4, is community. Now the coaching came with a little community as well, and I've gotten more involved with that, and that's been great. But the community, as I said, I was looking at all of this from a holistic perspective. And through around the same time I made this decision was when I was making the decision to get serious about my business as well. And the community that is a part of what I do with my business has been life changing. Um, it's been as much a magical part of this process as my coaching has in itself. And I just can't get enough of it. I just can't. Um, but having a supportive community of people around you that believe in you, that see you, see who you are. They love who you are right now. Doesn't matter if you lose the weight, doesn't matter if you do the things. They love you right now and they want nothing but success for you. That makes such a massive difference. Um, and if you don't have one, create one. And it's totally possible for you to create one. Find like-minded people, find people that are on similar paths as you. And that's one thing that I love about social media is that it really does allow us to reach people that we wouldn't normally meet in our own hometowns or wherever it is that we're at. And so reach out, build your community of supportive, like-minded, loving people that want to see you succeed, because I know we don't necessarily need to depend on other people for validation, but at the same time, we kind of do. When you're growing, when you're experiencing something new, when you're trying something new, you need that support, that validation to remind you what you're doing is right, because our minds can tell us a whole lot of negative stuff that is not what we need to hear when we lose a little bit of motivation or I think you know what I'm trying to say. But that community fills in those moments that we're a little weaker and we need the support. Hello, Janine. Thank you for tuning in live. So community, it's a really, really, really important thing. And I want to invite you to check out my community. If you don't have one, you can check this community out and be totally incognito and nobody will know that you are there. You can check out my website at workwithamc.com. The first link talks about the Trinity Challenge. I've been doing this weight loss now for 90 days. It's a little more than 90 days actually at this point. But I actually just started a round of a 90-day challenge with this community while still devoted to my coaching. And I would love to invite you if you're looking to start, even if you're not ready to start right now, but you need that community to connect with, to get that encouragement, to get that inspiration, to get you to the point that you are ready to start. I want to invite you to just check out the Trinity Challenge. And why I say that is the information to join the Trinity Challenge. You'll join our Facebook group. There's no cost to join it. There's no sign up or anything. You just join our Facebook group. And the Facebook group is called the Grow Rich Mastermind. It's, doesn't cost anything to join, and you can join in and that'll be your community. You can choose if you want that community to be a part of you, or you can just kind of sit in the back a little bit, check it out, see if it's going to vibe with you. I think you'll be pleasantly surprised. It's been life-changing for me. So that's all I have for you guys today. Thank you for tuning in, Miss Janine. I love you so much. And love it. Yeah, the Trinity Challenge. Oh, and let me just add, so with the Trinity Challenge, we also get on a workout Zoom every morning at 7:30 a.m. I'm usually a little bit late because I have to drop my kids off at school right at 7:30, but we get on every morning and we're working out. I think I've only missed one call so far, so I'm pretty proud of myself, but it's a lot of fun. You see other people, everybody's doing their own thing. We're not all doing the same workout. Paul's doing his weightlifting. Janine's doing, I don't know what you do, Janine. I think you're doing stretches and stuff. Because I'm usually getting on a little late. So you started before me. So I see like the end of yours. So I think all I see is your stretching. And then we've got Rita Joy that hula hoops. And it's just so much fun. And a few other members are walking. So there's no pressure. Camera on, camera off. Again, you can totally tune in and just see what's going on. And you'll get that information if you check out the link. Again, I will share that. Workwithamc.com, and it will be the first button. Have an awesome day. Happy Freedom Friday. Have some fun this week. It's been an awesome week, but I am looking forward to this weekend. I will see you guys on Monday for episode 15, and we'll see you later. Goodbye.